A final from Tuscaloosa where the Tide have now won 17 straight home games, extending the longest active streak in FBS. And Alabama has now won 8 in a row since losing their season opener to Florida State. Got 4 ranked wins. This was not a ranked win. You thought when the season started perhaps it would be against a ranked LSU team, and it was not. This was their first game since firing head coach Brian Kelly. Garrett Nussmeier was benched at one point in this game. Ty Simpson and the Tide get it done. Ty Simpson, 21 of 35, 277, 1 touchdown. Daniel Hill gets a rushing touchdown, and Alabama wins it 20-9. The LSU Tigers did not score a touchdown in this game, and that's just disappointing. They were trying to play for the interim coach, Coach Wilson, and it's Alabama who rolls at home. Back here in studio, Richard Johnson, Cardale Jones. Cardale, look, Alabama's just taking care of business here. They're at home where they have won 17 in a row. What did you see from Alabama? What's your takeaway from this game?
You know what? They picked up right where they left off coming out the bye week. They had a very impressive stretch of winning 4 straight games versus 4 straight ranked opponents. And today was no difference. I know we all expected this game to be a ranked, potentially top 10 game, but Alabama's doing what they do, right? It doesn't matter who they play, going out there putting their best foot forward. Didn't have their best rushing performance today, but Ty Simpson is showing why he should be considered in these Heisman talks. As I talked before the show, before the game, and he put on a nice performance, efficient, protected the football, and got a 1 in the end zone with Ryan Williams.
Cardale, Alabama's run game does leave a lot to be desired. I think that may come to bite them in January, but those are January problems because they do look destined for the college football playoff right now if they keep on this track of winning ball games. Obviously, they're top 4 seed if the playoff was to be played tomorrow. I thought that Bama came in here and handled business, and that was important. One of the things that Bama doesn't do under Kalen DeBoer is they don't mess around in a spot like this, where they have 2 weeks to prepare for a big-time opponent at home. They don't really mess around. It's when they stub their toe that's the problem. For instance, like a Vanderbilt last year where they're a favorite and they should be able to win. And so they handle business. LSU's defense is never really the problem. LSU's defense is going to pose a challenge, and they did today to Alabama. But at the end of the day, LSU can't score. They pull Garrett Nussmeier for Michael Van Buren in the second half to try to get a spark, try to get something, but it didn't really work. And in the end, Alabama pulled away.
Yeah, you mess around, you find out. So if you don't mess around, you can win games, right? You take care of business. Look, Garrett Nussmeier being pulled in this game, what was your reaction to that? Like, this was a kid after last season. We were talking about going in the top 10 in the NFL draft. He comes back to LSU, and it has been a disappointing season for this young man. Yeah,
disappointment to say the least. I'm just watching that game, just so many emotions because he was a guy that coming into the season I had as a potential Heisman front runner coming into the season. Then with all the experience under his belt, I had him projected for his preseason All-American as well. Clearly not living up to those expectations as us as the media or the LSU nation has put upon him. And I guarantee you, being a coach's kid, he's not living up. He knows he's not living up to the expectation he has for himself. It's just sad to see all around. LSU is one of the teams that's coming into this season that was a potential national championship contender with all the weapons they had returning, and so far haven't been living up to the hype.
Hit on the defensive transfers, did LSU? Missed on a lot of the offensive transfers. Mainly on the offensive line. It's one of the main reasons why Garrett Nussmeier is not able to get the best out of his game, why that offense has not been cohesive. They've struggled to run the ball as well, and why LSU is not going to get where they want to go. I mean, bowl eligibility right now is at least in flux here coming home. They still got Oklahoma on this slate as well, Arkansas as well coming home. We'll see if LSU is actually going to make the postseason.
Well, Alabama will probably remain at 4 in the next college football playoff rankings when they come out on Tuesday. Had they not lost to Florida State, we would be talking about number 1 Alabama. There's no question about it. 4 ranked wins, that's more than any other team in FBS in terms of ranked wins. And this resume looks really good now, Richard. It's 8 straight wins since that season-opening loss to the Seminoles.
Yeah, they have put that Florida State game in the rear-view mirror. It's a thing that is going to be on their resume. You have to acknowledge that it's a terrible loss, but they got 8 pretty good wins also on the resume, and they are rolling right now. They're going to have to play that Oklahoma team that is going to give Ty Simpson such a unique challenge so far with how good they are up front. Alabama has not played a team that's as good up front as Oklahoma is yet this season, and we saw what Oklahoma's defense can do to this Alabama team, what they did last year against the Crimson Tide. So we'll see how that goes when the Tide and the Sooners match up.
How do they stack up? You got John Mateer, you got Ty Simpson. I mean, this is going to be a massive game next week.
Yeah, interesting matchup to say the least. You talk about the game last year when Jalen Milroe was the quarterback. This is a completely different Alabama offense with Ty Simpson leading the charge. What is a pass first, and then clearly we saw some design quarterback runs. Ty Simpson was a dual threat quarterback coming out of high school, so he has the ability to run. Now, I'm not saying he's a Jalen Milroe at any means, but I think the Sooners defense will give this Alabama offense a struggle and kind of some looks they haven't seen before. We saw what the Sooners defense did to a high-power, high-flying Tennessee offense last week, and I think they can be posed, especially on that pass rush, so that front seven can really get at the Alabama.
Certainly helps Alabama that this game will be played at home at Bryant-Denny Stadium, where they have won now 17 in a row, extending the longest active streak in FBS. Alabama with 8 straight wins since that season-opening loss to Florida State, and another streak at home versus unranked teams for Alabama. 85 straight home wins against unranked teams, longest streak in the past 30 years. If you come into Tuscaloosa and you are unranked and you don't have a little number next to your name, you're probably leaving town with a loss. That's how good Alabama is at home against unranked teams. They don't mess around. You heard what Richard said. They don't mess around in this night, and they get another win as they improve to now 8-1.